Hey everyone, welcome back to BlauDev. Today I'm going to be going over how to embed YouTube videos within your application. But first I want to remind everyone of the giveaway that's going on right now. I'm giving out 2 Flutter t-shirts, so they're black t-shirts with the Flutter logo right in the middle. And I'll be shipping those anywhere worldwide. The giveaway is going to end on the 30th of this month and winners will be announced on the 31st. So if you haven't entered already, click the link in the bio or check out any one of the socials for BlauDev and you can enter for a chance to win that. And that's all celebrating hitting 100 subscribers. So again, if you're subscribed to the channel, thank you. If you're not, make sure you click that like button and subscribe to the channel so you can get weekly Flutter content. And let's dive into it. If you've been following along with us previously, we used a stream builder in Firebase to pull data and display it. And so we have a nice list view here that's displaying titles. But what we want to do is we want to be able to display not just the title, but we also wanted to be able to display the video itself. And to do this, we're going to use a library called YouTube Player Flutter. So if we go to YouTube Player Flutter, if we go to installing, we are going to download the most recent version, which I believe I have. Yep. And we are going to import it into the file where we want to use it. Okay. The next thing we're going to want to do is in place of the text widget that I have here, this is inside of my stream builder and it's within the list view in that stream builder. So in each instance right here, this is a new item within the collection. So I have a bunch of documents within a collection called videos, and this is basically a list, a mapping of all the documents within that collection. So we're iterating through those documents. And so each one of these center widgets is going to be a new document that we're dealing with. And so I have document title, but we're going to be messing with one called URL. So I'm just going to say var URL is equal to document URL. Okay, I'm going to be using this here in a little bit. So I set that up. We've imported it already. Now let's go back to the README. We can see here there's some nice things, nice examples here that we can utilize within our application. So we're going to pull this most basic widget. This is the most basic one. And we are going to place it in place of the text. Okay. That should be better. Let's see here. Nope. Oh, whoops. Okay. I just pulled the YouTube Player controller. I'm just realizing that. We do want that, but that is going to be above. So we're going to put that up here. For the initial video ID, we don't have an ID. We have a URL. So we need to convert our URL into an ID. And luckily, on the YouTube Player Flutter page, if you scroll down to where it says want to play using YouTube URLs, you'll see that there's a method YouTubePlayer.convert URL to ID. And we're going to utilize that method. And so we're going to call that right here. And we're going to pass URL. Okay. So this is going to set up our controller for our YouTube Player controller for our YouTube player. And we're going to set autoplay to false. We don't want it to play immediately. Mute can stay on, we'll keep it on true. That's fine. And the next thing we want to do is we want to add our YouTube player widget down below. And so let's go ahead and do that. Okay. And here we go. Here's our application. So you see here it's rendering all the different YouTube videos. Okay, I made some minor adjustments as well to what we just did. I added on some additional tags: disable drag seek, false, loop is false, is live is false, force HD is false. These are just a couple of extra tags I added on. There's several other properties within the YouTube Player flags that you can address. These are just a couple of them. So you can check it out on their documentation page. I did as well place the YouTube Player within a column widget. And the reason for that is we now want to make sure that we put in a title. So we want to say document title. Okay, the next thing that I want to do is you can see here that I'm having some overflow issues. And so let's actually do the following. Let's remove the height of the container. And that way it'll adjust based on how much content is below. So if we have, for example, 3 lines of text, we don't want to run into overflow issues with that. I'm also going to want to put a little bit of padding above. And so what I might do here is I might actually do a padding edge insets dot only top, give it 10, give it a child, reformat that, save it. Okay, and it looks like I want to go more than 10. Let's go 20. That's more like it. That looks a little bit better. The next thing I want to do is I actually want to add in a better font. I don't really like this font. I mean, I don't want to change it too much. It's okay, but we're going to use the Google Fonts library. So what you want to do is you want to import it. So we want to add the dependency. We're going to pub-get. On our video screen, or wherever you want to use it, you want to import your Google Fonts package. And then we're actually going to use, from the Google Fonts example page, we're actually going to use the Google Fonts.lato font for this example. And so what we're going to do is, in our text widget, we're going to say style is equal to Google Fonts.lato. And instead of italic, we're just going to do normal. Okay. Okay. Not a big difference, but it makes it a little bit smaller, a little bit bolder of a font. And there's hundreds of different fonts that we can utilize. So we can go and look into it. I believe it's the, is it homepage? Where is it? There it is. Fonts.google.com. Any font that we find on here, we can utilize within our application. So this is Lato, right? So let's say we want to utilize, what's one that looks dramatically different? It's too complicated, right? Let's do Hebo. Quicksand. Quicksand, everyone knows Quicksand. So we could do Quicksand. Yes. Boom. Changes to Quicksand. Actually, let's just keep it on Quicksand. I like that one. Perfect. And I'm actually going to put a little bit of padding on the bottom as well, now that I look at it. Good, just to give it a little bit of space between the title and the video. Okay, so there we have it. So this is our new and improved video screen where we have our title and we have our videos, and those videos can play within the application. Very simple. The next thing that we're going to want to do is we are going to want to add in our articles. And so in a very similar manner to how we did it here, I'm actually going to copy in the stream builder because we're actually going to reuse this. Let's go to our article screen. What is it? Where is, oh, it's right there. Okay, and let's actually go, we have our body, boom. I want to remove everything within this guy and just do a simple text widget, and this one is going to be document title. I'm going to remove this controller. We're going to add in the packages that we need for that. No need for this. Okay. Here we go. All right, so these are all the titles of the articles that we're going to be pulling, except these are the videos. So we need to point to articles. Perfect, there we go. So you can see here should mobile app startups use Flutter, common app store connect issues you should know how to fix. These are a list of a lot of the Medium articles found on the Blaudead page. Not all of them, but a good majority of them. So what we're going to do here now is we want to house a thumbnail of sorts where when the user clicks on it, it is going to take them to that article. And so instead of a container, let's do a material button. I think I want a material button for this. And let's have the child be a container, actually. I want to capture that. Paste it. Okay, the reason for this is a couple things. One, I want to make sure it's clickable. I also want to make sure that I can control the sizing. And actually, to solve this, I'm going to remove the container. I'm going to change the center to a container instead. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give it a width of media query of context size width divided by 1.2. The material button will have an onPressed method. For now, okay. For now, it's just going to print out the URL when the user clicks on a particular one. So let's go to run. Here we are. Okay. So this is the URL we eventually want to open up when a user clicks on this within the application. To do this, we are going to be utilizing a library, and that library is going to be the pub.dev URL launcher. That's the one I'm thinking of. So let's import it. Okay, added the dependency. We now want to import it into our application. So let's go ahead and import that. The next thing we want to do is we want to actually grab the URL launcher. We want to basically open up a web page, right? So they have this nice little method already created. And so we're going to, just outside of our build widget, we're going to have that right there. It's going to take in, however, a URL. And in place of this, we're going to set that. No need for that line, actually. We are solid. So what this will do is when the user calls on this method, it's going to first check if it's a valid web page. If it is, it's going to open it up. If it's not a valid web page, it's going to throw a could not launch string straight to our console so we can see that it's not working. Okay, so I've rebuilt it. Took a little bit longer than I thought, but you'll see here when we click on one of these little buttons, it takes us to the article that we're looking for. All right. Here's a different one. Just confirm it's working properly. Perfect. So that's working the way we want it to. The next thing we want to do is we want to display a nice thumbnail. And so we have access to the image. It's a URL to the image. I believe it's simply the document image is what I think it's being called. We can check here really quickly, actually, if we say print document image. And it looks like it is. You can see here we've got a link to the image. So this is the link that we're going to be wanting to display. So what we're going to use for this one is a cached image. So we're going to be cached network image package. This is also one of the more popular packages out there. I suggest you get really familiar with it. The great thing about this package is we can have both our image, we have a placeholder widget while we're waiting for the image to load, and should the image not load properly, we can display an error widget. So this is a great package to know and utilize whenever you're displaying images. So we're going to add this in, go to pubspec.yaml, and it looks like I've actually already imported this into the project. I'm guessing I did it on the profile page. I didn't remember that. But let's go ahead and add it to our article screen. Oops. Okay. And we are going to do it right underneath the text widget. And this is going to be cached network image. And the image URL is going to be document image. The error widget is going to be, let's just utilize the same one that they used and basically just show an icon. So we're just going to grab both of these widgets. So it'll display this little icon error, and I'm going to actually make it red. And then it'll display a circular progress indicator while it's loading. So let's go take a look. Okay, so that's added in. The only things I want to change now, I want to change the spacing, and I kind of want to put all of these within like a shaded box of sorts. And so what I can do here actually, because it's actually within a container, I could say decoration and do a box decoration. Give it a border radius. Circular, let's just do simple. 15. Do color, colors.red, just for testing sake. Okay, that's good. I don't want the red color though. I would like to use either the purple or like a dark Blyle Dev blue. And so let's see here. I believe on my menu screen is where I use that purple color. So I've referenced it before. And I'll add that into my theming later on and update it. Okay. The next thing we want to do is we want to add a little bit of padding. I'm going to cut that container widget, but only because I want to return a padding widget instead. Okay. And it's getting mad because I'm not currently using anything for padding. Edge insets.only, top, let's do 15 for now. Save it. Okay, that's fine. I do also want to add some padding within here. So let's do padding, child, and then padding edge insets dot only, actually edge insets dot symmetric, let's do vertical 10. Okay, this is getting a little messy, but that's the spacing I want. That's good. So I'm going to do another one of these, and instead on the inside I'm going to place our cached network image instead of the text. Okay, so that'll give it a little bit padding on the bottom, a little bit of padding on top, and a little bit of extra padding in between our text and our image. Okay, scrollable. And you can see here it adjusts to the size of the image. So in the case where you have a tall image like this as the thumbnail, it adjusts the box. In the case that you have a smaller one, it'll narrow the box down. I'm not sure if I actually like that or not. That's to be decided. Maybe we'll change that up later on. For now, I kind of like it. It's fine. And we're going to add a little bit of styling. We'll do colors.white. Oh, whoops. text style. Colors.white. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so that's a wrap. So we've successfully added in videos within our application, rendering them within the application and playing them. We have added in Google Font. So we're using Sans here. We've added in a scrollable stream builder to display our articles. And we can click on one of our article boxes and it will open up a link to that article. And so these are the two core functionality pieces I want to have in the app. One of the things I want to do next is probably to add in history right here. So you can see the last things that you've been looking at or like you clicked on, as well as making this bit up here dynamic. So instead of having static data right here, we'll actually hook right up into Firebase database, and we're going to pull in legitimate data on that user, and we'll go over basic Firebase CRUD operations. So create, read, update, delete, CRUD. So we'll be going over that as well. If you found this video useful, please click that like button and subscribe, and stay tuned. In a couple weeks, we're going to be giving out some free Flutter t-shirts. So there'll be a giveaway for that. So stay tuned for that and keep your eyes open for that on all socials. Don't forget to follow BlyleDev on Twitter, Instagram, and Medium as well. And I'll catch you guys next time.